Hello, welcome to another typology interview with Binyamin. Here is Laura. Hi, Laura. How are you?
Hi, I'm fine. How about you?
I'm good, yeah. So I'm happy to have you. You're a lead SI.
Correct.
Yeah. So we're gonna talk about that SI a little bit because it's a challenging function to understand, I think. Um,
Yeah, that's what Dave and Shannon said.
yeah,
They said they thought it was the most challenging function.
yeah. But first, why don't you tell me what your history is with typology?
I first learned about typology in high school psychology class. We took it was the Keirsey temperament sorter, so it's sort of like the Myers-Briggs. It's not the official test, but it's a commonly used test out there. And actually, oddly enough, at that time I did get ISTJ.
Okay,
But later on, I kind of questioned the type, and then at the time, I didn't really want to be an ISTJ because that's not wasn't really like a cool type to be. All the cool kids, NFPs, you
okay,
know. But I started reading, but it kind of got me interested in the Myers-Briggs typology. I checked out some books on the topic from the library, and I kind of wasn't sure if I was ISTJ because I was drawn to the descriptions of intuition and being able to see beyond the surface of things, and I thought that I did a lot of that.
right.
And at the time I did identify as a J type, and I wasn't sure about thinking and feeling because it's like, well, I'm emotional sometimes, I'm sensitive, but
Right.
I'm also a very logical person. So I kind of went back and forth on those two.
Did you take more
And
tests later or?
I did take a bunch of tests, yeah. And and then on most of the tests online, I got intuition, and I know I wasn't coming out as a sensing type, and then I
Right.
was identifying more with intuition than with sensing. And um, I've been kind of interested in Myers-Briggs and other typologies off and on for years,
Right.
and objective personality. I just kind of stumbled upon that group by chance. It showed up in the suggested groups list on Facebook.
Oh, you came to it through Facebook. That's interesting.
Yeah, and it was just like suggested groups, and I was drawn. I remember being drawn to
Right.
the group because it said the word objective in it, and I thought, well, maybe this will be more objective than some of these other typology groups that
Right.
that aren't very so objective, and they
Right.
glorify some types and not others, and they're not really, they're just doing it on anecdotes only and not really.
Yeah.
And then I
Okay. Yeah. So then you came into
yeah,
the group, you put out your typing videos and you were typed.
yeah.
What were you, so what did you think you were before you, yeah, actually you got your type right on, didn't you?
Yeah, well, when I entered this group, I was kind of going between um, INTP and INFP. Um, well, back a while ago, I thought it was a J type because I thought, well, I'm organized and punctual and all this
Okay.
stuff, and I get things done and all this. But then I studied the cognitive functions, and at the time I thought I identified a lot like with TI and FI, and I thought I had auxiliary NE, but then I kept reading SI, and then I'm like, well, the SI description as a cognitive function fits me well,
Where did
but
you
then,
read the SI description?
well, just various places.
Okay. Yeah, because I read
Um,
the one from Young and it didn't make any sense to me. It was just so, it was the one function that was just so abstract. And it's so
yeah,
weird that it's abstract because it's the least abstract using function. Yeah.
yeah, but I don't think I've read like bits and pieces of Jan. I never really read it
Okay.
front to back cover, so I don't remember how well that description in particular resonated with me. I just read like collected bits of descriptions that people would post on the internet, and
Right.
personality cafe and personality cafe and those places. um, it's like, well, yeah, I can relate to SI as a function, like if they're talking about, um, like like I have a really good memory of the past, and kind of
Okay.
kind of having a past recollection of my experiences, and comparing something new with what's happened before in my stored bank of knowledge. And it's like, I do this a heck of a lot, and
Right.
but I still wasn't really committing to um, an SI dominant type at that time. And maybe it was just because I'd read these type descriptions, and it just seemed like ISTJs were just so,
Yeah, yeah, I
I don't know,
know. They're not very
boring,
favored upon
traditional
in yeah,
blockheads. They weren't very
exactly.
flattering.
Yeah.
And then ISFJ wasn't, problematic too. Like, especially
Right.
ISFJ females, they're just homemakers and stuff, and nurses, and and these types, they're so they're closed-minded, they're resistant to change and possibilities, and I didn't identify with that aspect of it.
Right.
But I did identify with, like, yeah, like being really reliable, and having a good storehouse of facts and information. I mean that part I definitely
Okay. So do you think that's very SI to have a good storehouse of facts and information?
well, I think it depends on who you ask.
Is it masculine SI?
Yeah, it's masculine.
Okay. Right. That makes sense too, that it would have you would have more solid facts and information as well. Have a better memory.
Yeah, because that's kind of what Dave and Shannon say. But then they posted a video to the Objective Personality group, and then, like, the majority of people were seeing ISTJ, and I know they emphasize, like, what do you do first,
Right.
and I think for me, I really do kind of collect the facts first, and then
Right.
from that I get the patterns, and not the other way around. So
Uh-huh.
then that kind of started to make sense.
Okay. What do you see as your sensory? Your like, do you connect all of your experiences together or similar experiences? How do the experiences sort of line up in your past?
um Line up, like, what do you, I guess, can you kind of clarify what you mean?
Yeah, like, is each experience very separate, or do they all blend together, or how does that work?
Well, I mean, I guess it's kind of both. I mean, because, yeah, like the memories themselves are kind of, discrete memories, but I do think that they all kind of, I guess they kind of connect in a way. And I mean, sometimes it could be kind of chronologically. Well, this happened, which led to this, which led to that, which led to that. Or sometimes the things that I remember kind of, um, have some underlying theme, or pattern to it. I mean,
Right. When something happens, does it feel like it's like something that's more or less eternal, like something that's always there, something that just will never leave you?
when I remember it, I don't. Well, you mean my past memories? Like, do
Yeah,
I
like a
don't
past
forget them?
experience. Like a past experience. Do you feel like that experience is something that stays with you forever? Do you feel like that's really your storehouse of
Yes.
cherished?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, once I remember it, it's kind of there for life, for better or for worse.
Right.
Because if I have something unpleasant that happened to me, I'll remember that for life, and it can be hard for me to let go of bad memories. I think that can be like the downside of the SI, and
Right. And do you feel that like
especially,
that structures your character, your past? Like, do you feel like it's hard
oh
to break
yeah,
away from that? Yeah.
yeah, because I think the past affects the present. I mean, I think we're kind of, I mean, like when you think of all of our experiences that have accumulated over time, it kind of makes us who we are now, and it kind of affects what we do today. It was kind of based on what kind of happened in the past. So
Yeah. Do
that's
you,
kind of the way I look at
do
it.
you feel like all of those past experiences can contribute to when you're making decisions and trying to plan for the future as well?
Yeah, yeah, because, like, if something, good happened. Oh, I liked how that happened. I want it to happen like that again. I want to experience that again. Or something
Right.
bad happened. I don't want that to happen again. Let's avoid that mistake we made last time.
So when you're planning for future events or what you're going to do, you will have those experiences in mind.
Oh yeah. Hmm.
Okay. D Once you've gathered enough experiences, will the patterns between the experiences link, or is it the other way around that the experience itself has the patterns within it? Do you sort of know
Um,
what I'm saying?
the
Yeah.
experiences the experiences start to link to each other,
Okay.
and I see a pattern among the experiences.
Okay. And do you feel that demon any when you're I don't know, when you're just going about your day-to-day life, do you see that the world is sort of giving you these glimpses of something that could be, or possibilities or things like that?
Um, I think I sometimes experience demon any, like I run into some unexpected problem that I haven't experienced before. Like say at my work, I work in a library, and one of the things I do in the library is I help people with the computers and technology in the library. And let's say there's a weird error message that's popping up, and it's an error message I've never seen before,
Okay.
and I gotta try to troubleshoot it. And sometimes I kind of start to panic on the inside because it doesn't relate to anything I remember ever seeing or
Chaos.
experienced personally, or does it resemble anything. Maybe it's not exactly the same, but it kind of resembles
Right.
something that happened before, and maybe then I can intuit the steps. But if it doesn't resemble anything I already
You get
know,
stuck.
like what do I do?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you get
Or
stuck.
the
Yeah.
same thing when somebody wants me to research some obscure topic, I don't even know where to start.
Where to
I mean,
start? Yeah.
easy,
You need some
easy if I'm
reference point. You need
familiar.
some sort
Yeah,
of historical progression or something. Yeah.
yeah, it's easy
Yeah,
if
that's
I'm
at SI.
familiar with it, but if I'm not, then yeah.
Right.
So I
And then
definitely
and
go
that
by
can come off that, so
reference
that
points.
that's a huge chaotic thing too. But so okay,
Hmm.
so that's more of your SI's ability to cope with chaos that you're talking about
Hmm.
as a demon. But like maybe like what about seeing patterns in the present? Do you, or possibilities in the present? Do you see negative possibilities? Do you get paranoid at that bad things could happen every so often around you, or
Well, I think it's kind of both. I mean, I see positive, and I mean positive possibilities and negative
okay.
possibilities. Like like let's say I see something, I don't know, some interesting product in the store, and I can think of all the positive possibilities that this product could have.
Okay.
Um,
That sounds like, yeah, that sounds like also your TE. Like what how is it can be used? What's useful?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, interesting. What Yeah, I'm trying to get okay, let's come back to your NE then. Let's talk about your TE. Do you feel like it's important, it's a masculine TE, right?
It's feminine.
Oh, it's feminine. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay, so you're MF.
Yeah,
Okay. So
motherfucker.
right. There's your ENFP coming out there, trying
Yeah,
to be more active. Uh,
peacocking.
yeah, peacocking. So your TE, do you feel like you like agreement? Do you like things that work? What's the order there? What's the importance?
I like things that work, and that are efficient,
Efficient.
and it's important that it works for everybody,
That's
because it
energy
is a
dominant
tribe.
too?
It's a tribe focused function. What?
You're energy dominant then because you want the efficiency?
Um, I believe so. Dave and Shannon typed me um, as blast, play, sleep, consume, but I'm
Right.
not sure I'm consume last because I feel like I'm doing a lot of consuming, and
Right. But you just
I
said
do a
something that
lot
was
of
really
reading for
energy
fun,
dominant.
and yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I guess if I had to pick one, I'd say I'm more energy dominant than information dominant, because
Right.
if it takes too much time and energy to consume information, I don't want to bother with it.
Right. Okay, I gotcha. That makes sense. Um do you do you see that your blast being a primary, is it something that you're responsible to do, responsible to give over that information and is accurate a way that you possibly can?
Yeah, I think so. Definitely as accurately as possible. And yeah, I guess to some degree I do feel responsible to conveying, the right information to the right people at the right time.
Right. What about your sleep? How do you see that working? Do you see yourself going through your emotions and your feelings and how you feel about things? Yeah, in your
It
experience.
would be SI and FI
Right.
combined together, so it's kind of going through my past
Right.
experiences, kind of reliving them in my mind, and
Right.
sometimes
Reminiscing.
feeling the feelings associated with those experiences.
Would it be very reminiscent too?
Yeah,
Do you feel like you're a sentimental person as well?
I can be about some things. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Interesting.
wouldn't say I'm sentimental to the extreme, but I
Right.
certainly have moments where I can be.
What about like keepsakes and things like that that have meaning for you? Is that interesting for you or no?
Um, I think it was more interesting when I was younger. I had
Right.
more keepsakes, and now it's like I don't like having a lot of clutter around me.
Right.
So
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I've gotten rid of some of them, but I do like going through old photos.
Right. Interesting. Okay. So let's try to touch a little bit more on that demon any. Let's try to. I'm trying to think of an angle that we can get at it from. Um, let's say you think of a possibility to something. Well, is it hard for you to let go of that possibility, like a possible solution or a possible problem or something like that? Does that ever happen that something sparks up?
Um, Sometimes, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Do you have an example where like you couldn't let go of it or you chased it to the end and you were right or something like that?
Well, I think. Uh, um,
Okay,
I
maybe.
think it's more like when I'm reading a topic that I'm interested in, and then
Okay.
there's some interesting tangent that I see, and then like I'll wanna explore that. I'll wanna start exploring that tangent to see where it leads to, and
Right.
um or like an objective personality, for example. Like sometimes I find a topic I'm interested in, and then um I want to read all about it, and that's where I get confused with this consume being last, because I do a lot of consuming in
Yeah.
that regard. Like I want to watch all the videos um, on Dave's channel, and then join the class, and watch all the classes, um, and
Yeah.
I guess just follow it. And then sometimes it'll be like I'll find something that is not clear to me, and I'll get obsessed with trying to nail it down and get it correct, and
Uh-huh.
um like
Is that
or
usually what would spawn something? Just a lack of understanding, and then you have to go and consume. Like you wouldn't just consume willy nilly.
um it's kind of both. I mean sometimes, yeah, sometimes it's because I don't understand something, and it's like, okay, I'm reading something, I don't know what this word means, I better go look it up so I understand what it means. Or sometimes, I gotta, do it for my job. Sometimes it's just interesting to me personally, and I go consume it.
Right. But do you have to have that interest beforehand, or you can just form the interest while you're reading something that?
um Most of the time I have the interest beforehand.
Okay.
Sometimes I get the interest while I'm consuming, or it sparks an interest in something else.
Uh-huh.
Like I'm reading a book on this topic, but then they mention some other thing that sounds kind of interesting, and
Right.
there'll be another tangent to explore.
Do you feel like you're responsible for that consume, or you enjoy the consume, or how does that work? Does it drain
Um,
you?
it's all of those.
Okay.
I mean, I'm responsible for, for consuming the right information, I guess, so that when I blast it to people, I'm not telling them wrong. I'm
Right.
not uninformed. They've got the right information. Sometimes it's just for fun. It's just, interesting to me personally. And then sometimes it can be draining, like for work, for example. I gotta research a topic for somebody, and um, all the information that's out there seems kind of overwhelming, and how to sift through it, and um, just like, yeah, it's kind of overwhelming, or I don't really care about the topic, but I got to research it anyway. So
Right.
sometimes that
So
can
do you feel
be
responsible in that
draining.
way that you have to research it and you push through it?
Yeah, I do feel responsible, because otherwise you don't have the right information,
Uh-huh.
and then you look dumb, and you're not, you know you're telling people wrong and all that
Right.
stuff, or you make a bad decision because you don't have enough information, so you make errors, and then
Do you have any like hobbies or anything that are interesting that most people don't have, or
typology.
yeah,
Obviously, typology. That's probably the big one. Um, I do like learning. I do like learning Spanish. Then that's not really an unusual hobby. I kind of want to master the language. I'd like
right,
to. I work with people that are Spanish speaking people, and at first I kind of did it kind of more for a pragmatic reason. Like this is gonna help me in my job. This is gonna help my employment prospects, and there's still some of that, but now it's kind of also more for personal pleasure. Like I just want to learn it, and I'd like to travel to some Spanish speaking countries someday, so it'd be kind of useful to have that Spanish.
do you feel like you have a larger vocabulary than most people and you're more articulate and accurate with your words? Like, do you usually pick apart people's words and sentences?
Yes, yeah. Yeah, I think I have a good sized vocabulary. Probably above average, but I don't have the whole dictionary memorized. And
Right.
sometimes I get frustrated when people like need to show off their vocabulary. Like I'm just going to use these big, huge, long, obscure words that most people don't know what they mean, and just to show off. And it's like, just use simple language that everybody
Right.
understands. Maybe that's
Right.
kind of a key thing, um, but yeah, I'm careful my choice of words, because, and I guess this is almost kind of why I thought I could be an INTP in the Myers-Briggs, why I considered that type as a
Right.
possibility previously, because they talk about INTPs like in precision, and like precision in words and language, and I like that. I like it when the meaning is clear, and it's not ambiguous, and but I could also see it more from a like an ISTJ perspective. Like, well, if everybody knows what this means, then we're all on the same page. We're all in agreement here.
Right.
So there's that too, and I think it's
Yeah.
probably more of that than.
Does it annoy you at all when language isn't clear and precise?
um it does when you misinterpret it. Like,
Hmm.
let's say you're following a set of instructions, and there's like an ambiguity in there, so you could interpret it in more than one way, and it's not clear what the intention is. Then it just gets confusing, and I don't like that. I like it to be clear cut, so that it's very explicit what it's saying. um so that can annoy me when it's kind of, I guess it can annoy me when it's kind of ambiguous.
Hmm. ambiguity is annoying.
Yeah, yeah.
Interesting. Okay. What about your play? It's NT play. Do you see it as NT play? Do you think it's one of your saviors?
I'm not sure because I thought I thought I had sleep above play.
Right.
I kind of talked to Dave and Shannon about this, and then I did an interview with Kendrick, and I think like especially with Kendrick, there was a lot of play energy coming out, and Dave and Shannon kind of thought, well, it seems like you feel like you're kind of responsible for expending energy for the tribe and then just relaxing and playing later.
Right.
So I think it might be. And yeah, so it'd be my TE and my NE together. So it is thinking about like ideas and possibilities that are going to be practical for myself, practical for other people, and then
Um,
sometimes just being kind of funny and witty and goofy, kind of like Robin Williams. He's actually, I think he's NETE.
right. Yeah. Do you feel that in your play energy you're trying to figure things out with people? Do you feel that that's what you're doing?
Yes. Yeah, kind of like talking out loud. Here's what I think about this. What do you think about that? Or even even like in the objective personality Facebook group, like here's my thoughts on this. What do you think? Here's what I think about my type. I kind of want your feedback and kind of going
Right.
back and forth.
And do you feel that you're also tribe above self? That it's more important
Yeah,
that
yeah.
yeah.
I think I'm tribe above self. I care a lot about getting validation from other people, and
Right.
it's kind of one of my weaknesses. I
Oh,
worry
really?
too much about that validation. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. But not more so than the control, the lack of control than the chaos.
I don't think so. I think that's the biggest one.
Right.
I think I'm more balanced on tribe self than I am with
Right.
control chaos,
Interesting.
being a single observer. Yeah.
Great. Um, do you have anything that you want to promote at all, or any message that you want to give?
Um, ISTJs are really cool.
Yeah.
Ig- ig- Ignore everything about ISTJs you read in Personality Cafe.
Yeah. They're dependable. Is that wrong?
No, no, no. No. They're very dependable. Yeah,
Right.
most of the
Um,
time. Yeah.
they're reliable, dependable. They get the job done. Um, yeah, that's usually what I associate with ISTJs. That if you want someone to stick to it and follow through with it to the end, you want an ISTJ.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Laura. It was really nice meeting you. And yeah,
Yeah. Nice talking to you too. Yeah.
have a good
Bye.
one. Bye.